In just a few hours, the Cohens, like the rest of Galveston, will be confronted by a scene almost too horrible to comprehend.
When the sun comes up Sunday morning, it's a calm, peaceful day, clear blue sky. The Gulf is totally tranquil.
As people emerged from their houses, as they crawled from whatever raft of debris had allowed them to survive, they looked out on a landscape unlike anything they had ever seen. It was as if the wind had disassembled everything, board by board, and then just hurled the boards in haphazard fashion.
On the morning of the 9th of September, we didn't know what had hit us. There was no water.
People were passing by, screaming and crying for help, and had no clothes on. The wind had ripped all their clothes off.
The survivors gathered outside after they could find dry land to stand on, and just started praying and singing. Praying and singing.
They could hear the cries of people buried under the debris. And at first, their impulse, of course, is to dig them out, to use their hands, to use any kind of tool they can find.
But many are buried so deep that rescuing them is impossible.
They come to realize that it's too late. There's nothing they can do for them. They will cry themselves out and finally die.
The dead, thousands upon thousands of them, are everywhere.
They began to realize very soon, as the morning advanced on Sunday, September 9th, that the loss of life had been quite significant. First of all, there was the mounting, sickening odor of the city.
Taking care of the bodies is one of Galveston's immediate concerns. Death gangs are formed to roam the city, collecting corpses. There are thousands of corpses and no way to bury them in the waterlogged sand of Galveston.
So they decide that the only thing to do is to load the bodies on barges and take them out to sea and dump them. And they actually commandeer people at bayonet point, and black people mostly, and force them to do the dirty work.
Two days after the first barge is sent out to sea, the now bloated corpses return, swept in by the Gulf tide.
It was then when the city fathers realized, well, there was only one solution. The decision was made to burn the bodies in place. If you found 10 corpses in an area, you would burn them there.
All across the island, you can see these funeral pyres, and the people who were there will never forget the smell of that. And the fires burned night and day for several weeks.
It would take the city of Galveston years to recover from the hurricane of 1900. In 1904, a 17-foot seawall covering 8 miles of shoreline was built to withstand assault from the Gulf of Mexico. In addition, the height of the entire island was raised.
They actually brought the sand in from the bay, getting this huge volume of sand they needed to elevate the island.
By 1915, when there is another hurricane of equal strength and power to the 1900 storm, the island sustains minimal casualties. The leaders and the population of Galveston heave a sigh of relief and feel that its place has been regained and reassured as an economic center of the region.
But it wasn't to be. Oil was discovered outside of Houston, and that hole up the road became Texas's next boomtown. In 1914, the Houston Ship Channel opened.
The new one in Houston is much more protected and has much more land area surrounding it for the servicing of shipping and processing of those kinds of things.
Houston soon outstripped Galveston as Texas's center of commerce, and the island faded into obscurity.